I am going to tell you an amazing story today, and after listening to it carefully, you will stop overthinking, being afraid, and worrying. Your heart will be filled with happiness and joy. So, let's begin today's story. Once upon a time, in a town, there lived a young man who was deeply sad and extremely disappointed. He could not understand why everyone in this world lives only for themselves. Everywhere he looked, he saw selfishness. He often thought that no one loved him, cared for him, or was genuinely connected with him. It seemed that people maintained relationships with him only for their own benefit, and as soon as that benefit was gone, they distanced themselves from him. Friends, something similar happens in our lives too. We constantly seek companionship, and when we don't find it, we feel lonely and weak. We begin to think that there's no one like us in this world, no one who loves us or cares for us. But we forget that, in the end, everyone must walk alone. That young man, tired of his loneliness, one day left his home and started walking down a path. His mind was full of many thoughts, and as he became absorbed in them, he continued walking. Soon, he came across an ashram. As he approached, he saw a guru teaching his disciples how to meditate. One of the disciples asked the guru, "Guru, what is meditation, and what benefit does it provide?" The guru responded, "My son, meditation is the truth, and it leads us to solitude. The more we embrace solitude, the deeper we dive into meditation. Solitude is what guides you to the path of truth and helps you attain it." The young man, standing outside the ashram, listened to these words attentively. As soon as he heard the guru speak, he ran toward him and said, "Guru, if meditation leads to solitude, then I am already superior in this because I am naturally alone. You need meditation to feel alone, but I don't have anyone in my life to care for me or to walk alongside me. I have been walking this path alone." Hearing this, the guru carefully looked at the young man and said, "If you are truly alone, then why are you carrying the burden of your entire family, your friends, your enemies, and all your relationships? Where are you headed with all of them?" Surprised, the young man turned around and saw no one behind him. He said to the guru, "Guru, there is no one behind me. Not my family, not my friends, not my enemies, nor any of my relatives. I have left them all behind because no one asks about me, cares for me, or listens to my voice. Only when they face problems do they remember me, but otherwise, they don't even know whether I'm alive. They don't care about me at all." The guru listened carefully to everything the young man said and then replied, "You are correct, but how can you be truly alone if you haven't let go of them yet?" Once again, the young man, perplexed, turned around and found no one behind him. He said, "Guru, there is no one here. I came here alone. It seems like you're making fun of me. There's no one with me, so how can I leave them behind?" The guru smiled and asked, "What do you want from me?" The young man said, "Guru, I want to become your disciple. I need a companion. Please accept me as your disciple, and I will be forever grateful." The guru replied, "You can stay here for a month, and after that, I will decide whether or not to accept you as my disciple. But you must follow one condition. You must practice meditation during these 30 days. If you can do that, you can stay here. Otherwise, there is no place for you." The young man agreed, saying, "Guru, I will do as you say. If you want me to practice meditation for 30 days, I am ready." So the young man stayed at the ashram. The next morning, the guru approached him and asked, "Who are you talking to? Where is your focus?" The young man replied, "Guru, there's no one with me. Who could I possibly be talking to? I'm all alone." The guru then said, "All right, now begin your meditation. You promised me you would practice it for 30 days. The young man sat down to meditate, but on the first day he faced many difficulties. He couldn't sit still for long, and his legs went numb. The guru observed this and said, "You can sit for as long as you want. It is not necessary to sit continuously. If you're uncomfortable, you can get up, walk around, and then sit again." The next morning, the guru asked him again, "Who are you talking to? Did someone come?" The young man replied, "Guru, no one is here. I'm not talking to anyone." The guru said, "All right, Begin your meditation." The young man then asked, "Guru, is meditation simply sitting with your eyes closed? If that's all it is, then it seems very easy. Anyone can do it." The guru responded, "No, my son. Meditation is not just sitting with your eyes closed. You must focus your mind on one thing. It could be an external sound or the sound of your breath. You should focus on something happening in the present moment, and your mind should not wander." The story continues with the young man struggling to focus during meditation, as old memories and thoughts keep distracting him. But with each passing day, he learns and grows under the guidance of the guru, slowly realizing the true meaning of solitude, meditation, and inner peace. This is a wonderful story that I will tell you attentively today, and after listening to it, you will stop worrying, fearing, and overthinking. Your heart will fill with happiness and joy. So, let's begin the story. Once upon a time, there was a young man living in a city. He was extremely sad and disappointed, unable to understand why everyone in the world seemed to live only for themselves. Everywhere he looked, he saw only selfishness. He often thought that no one loved or cared for him. People only maintained relationships with him for their own benefit, and once their interest was gone, they would distance themselves from him. Friends, something similar happens in our lives too. We are always searching for someone to accompany us, and when we don't find such companionship, we feel lonely and weak. We think that no one in the world is like us, no one loves us, and no one cares for us. But we forget that, in the end, everyone has to walk their path alone. That young man, burdened by his loneliness, decided to leave his home one day. Lost in deep thoughts, he wandered along a road until he saw an ashram. As he approached, he noticed a guru teaching meditation to his disciples. One of the disciples asked the guru, "Guru, what exactly is meditation, and how does it benefit us?" The guru replied, "Son, meditation is the truth, and it leads us to solitude. The more alone we become, the deeper we go into meditation, and this very solitude guides us toward the path of truth and helps us attain it." The young man, standing outside the ashram, heard these words. He hurriedly approached the guru and said, "Guru, if meditation makes us alone, then I must be superior in this, as I am already alone. While you use meditation as a tool to reach solitude, I am naturally alone. I have no one who loves or cares for me, and I walk this path by myself." Hearing this, the guru looked at the young man closely and said, "If you are truly alone, where is your entire family, your friends, your enemies, and your relatives? Why do you carry them with you?" Startled, the young man turned around, but there was no one. He replied, "Guru, there's no one behind me. Neither my family, my friends, my enemies, nor my relatives. I left everyone behind because no one cares about me. No one loves me or even listens to me unless they are in trouble, and then they remember me, but otherwise they don't even ask about my well-being. They don't care whether I am alive or dead." The guru, listening carefully, responded, "You are right, but as long as you carry them with you, how can you claim to be alone?" The young man, once again puzzled, turned around and saw no one. Frustrated, he said, "Guru, no one is here. I came alone, and it feels like you are making fun of me. When there's no one with me, how can I leave anyone behind?" The guru smiled and said, "What do you want from me?" The young man replied, "Guru, I want to become your disciple. I need a companion. Please accept me as your disciple. I will be forever grateful." The guru said, "You can stay here for a month, and after that I will decide whether to accept you as my disciple. But during these 30 days you must practice meditation. If you can do this, you may stay. Otherwise, there is no place for you here." The young man agreed and stayed at the ashram. The next morning, the guru approached him and asked, "Who are you talking to? Where is your focus?" The man replied, "Guru, there's no one with me. How could I be talking to anyone?" The guru said, "All right, but remember, you promised to practice meditation for these 30 days. The man sat down to meditate, but the first day was full of struggles. He found it difficult to sit still and his legs went numb. The guru, observing this, said, You can sit for as long as you like. There's no need to force yourself. If you feel uncomfortable, take a walk and come back. The next day, the guru returned and asked again, "Who were you talking to? Did someone come to visit you?" The man replied, "Guru, there's no one here. I haven't spoken a word." The guru asked him to continue practicing meditation. The man, feeling frustrated, asked, "Guru, is sitting with closed eyes really all that meditation is? If so, it's easy, and anyone can do it." The guru explained, meditation is not just sitting with your eyes closed. It involves focusing your mind on one thing, whether it's the sound of your breath or an external sound, something that is continuously happening in the present moment. When you focus on it, your attention shouldn't waver. The following day, the guru asked again, "Who are you talking to? Why is there so much noise?" The man, growing increasingly confused, said, "Guru, there is no one here, and I haven't spoken a word. How can there be noise?" The guru replied, "Are your friends, family, enemies, desires, and passions not coming to visit you?" The man denied it, but after sitting in meditation, he confessed to the guru that he had seen visions of his family, his girlfriend, his friends, and even his enemies, all visiting him in his mind. The guru smiled and said, "Now you see, all this time you carried them with you. Meditation has shown you the crowd you were never truly free from." Over time, the man realized the truth of the guru's teachings. A month later, he returned to the guru and said, "Guru, I have finally let go of the crowd. Now I am truly alone, and I feel a deep peace within. I feel there is no problem, no solution, just pure contentment." The guru replied, "If you wish, you can return to your world, but remember, even among people, you will remain alone, at peace with yourself. Now that you have found this solitude, nothing can disturb your inner calm. If you want, I can now accept you as my disciple, for though 30 days have passed, the true path of meditation is just beginning. There is much to learn, but remember, you must not hold on to anything along the way. The path is just beginning, and it is very long. This path begins with peace." The man bows before the guru and says, "O Guru, I want to return to my home, to the world, so that I can fulfill my responsibilities and also continue on this path. If you permit." Saying this, the man falls silent. The guru smiles and says to him, "Banti, when the mind is calm, everything is possible. You can remain alone even while living in the world. But remember one thing, there is much to learn and much to know, but nothing to hold on to. You may go now. May you be well." So, viewers, let's move on to the next story, focusing on the theme of overthinking. Humanity is caught in a race, one that never ends. It starts at birth and doesn't leave you until death. But have you ever stopped to wonder what you're racing towards? Ask yourself, what are you really chasing? And can this race ever truly end? People often strive to accumulate material comforts, but can these really provide peace or joy? Before Alexander the Great died, he told his ministers that when his funeral procession took place, his body should not be covered, and his hands should be visible to show the world that even someone who conquered everything left with nothing. His hands were empty. Life's course is such that it never allows you to pause, to reflect on the greatest joy or the deepest sorrow in life. Many people gather material wealth, but how many actually enjoy it? The very comforts one accumulates for peace and happiness often become the source of sorrow. When a person had no money, they were unhappy due to the lack of it. But when they gained wealth, it became a cause for strife, either for themselves or their family. So, what are you truly running after? Today's story will reveal to you life's greatest sorrow and greatest joy. But before we dive into the story, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Now let's begin. Remembering his days of poverty, tears welled up in Seth Nanan's eyes. He had now achieved everything in life. He had all the comforts, servants in his house, and thousands of people working under him, responding to his every command. Yet despite having everything, he felt like the poorest man on earth. Recalling his days of poverty brought tears to his eyes. Back then, he had nothing, but he was happy. Now, with everything, he was not. And the poorest person in the world is one who feels lonely, even when surrounded by everything. He realized that wealth and material comforts could not fulfill his inner being. But now it was too late. His life had passed by, and all that he had accumulated now seemed meaningless. He realized that all his life's earnings were in vain. If only he had realized this earlier, he would have paused and reflected on what he was truly accumulating and whether it was even worth it. Had he known this earlier, he would have sought the meaning of life, something that would fulfill his inner being, remove his loneliness, and make his life complete. He called his 2 sons and tried to impart this wisdom to them. He said, "Sons, I had no one to show me the right path in life, no one to guide me, so I kept walking a path that had no end. Now, after reaching the end of it, I realized that I was on the wrong path all along. But now there is no time left to start over. I want you to learn from my mistake. Do not walk a path that leads nowhere, only to realize at the end that everything you worked for was in vain." Seth's eldest son asked, "Father, you have everything, wealth, family, happiness. So why do you think you're unlucky?" His son couldn't understand what his father was trying to convey. So Seth tried to explain, "When I was your age, I too thought I had everything. But now that I am old and nearing death, I realize that everything I accumulated will be left behind. My wealth, my family, my possessions. In the end, I will go alone. Am I not the poorest man in the world, having everything but being able to take nothing with me?" Seth's son asked, "Then, Father, what should one accumulate in life? Doesn't everyone go alone when they leave this world? Is everyone, then, unlucky?" Seth had no answer to this question. He himself was searching for the answer. So he told his son, "Son, I am still searching for that answer. But know this, the greatest sorrow in the world is to feel alone, even when you have everything. I believe this is the greatest sorrow. But the opposite of that, the greatest joy in the world, what is that? I do not know. I want you to search for that answer in your life. And I believe that if you find that answer, you will be the happiest person in the world." After finishing the story, the guru asked his disciples, "What is the greatest joy in life?" The disciples were listening intently. It was evening, a gentle breeze was rustling the leaves, birds were returning to their nests, and the sun was about to set. The disciples eagerly wanted to know the answer. But before revealing it, the guru asked them the same question. One disciple answered, "The greatest joy is to have a healthy body. If you are ill, no amount of material wealth can bring you happiness. But if your body is healthy, even if you have nothing, you can still live happily." Hearing this, another disciple disagreed. "There are many people with healthy bodies who are still not happy. I believe the greatest joy comes from having a peaceful mind." The guru asked, "And how can one make the mind peaceful?" The disciple replied, "The mind is never satisfied. But if we learn to be content, we can remain peaceful and joyful in any situation. The problem is that the mind is never at rest. Its hunger is insatiable. No matter how much wealth you give it, its greed only grows." The guru then began to explain, "In ignorance, man never realizes that his mind has always been empty, but by creating unnecessary worries and goals, he has filled his mind with clutter. The mind, which was naturally empty and found joy in everything during childhood, now remains burdened with everything but joy. However, if a person learns to stay in the present moment, they can change their life completely. By being fully present, they can enjoy every moment with complete awareness, savoring it fully. This is the key to a joyful life." The guru emphasized the importance of practicing mindfulness and meditation, saying that it gradually helps the mind to stay in the present, allowing one to experience true peace and joy. With that, the guru and his disciples immersed themselves in meditation. Friends, I hope this story has brought positive insights into your life. Let me know in the comments what you've learned from it, and share this knowledge with your friends and family. If you like this video, don't forget to like it, and if you haven't yet subscribed, do so now. May your day be filled with happiness. Thank you, and Namo Buddhaya.